Hi, welcome back to My Cup of TV with Jenny,
JD,
and Erin.
We have to go into ships, which are these
love ships though. Like
the amazing friendships and relationships they have, and then you put their names together, and you've got like Namjoon, which is Namjoon, and Jin together is Namjoon. So
I mean, Young is Jungi.
she's made her own ship name. To be fair, I think a lot of army do that. You know, it's like doodling your boyfriend's name on your notepad. This is what we would be together.
Me and JK, that gets difficult.
so
being a
what
J
would I
as
be
well.
Then? How could? Because
I could be a Pokemon. I could be Eevee.
oh my god! And Jake actually bought me a little Eevee plushie. Perfect.
You could be Eevee.
I'm Eevee. It's fine. I'm the really cute little black one.
JD and RM just kind of works anyway with the.
That's true. JD and RM. Yeah.
You could be Jen.
Namjoon. Namjen instead of Namjoon. It'd be Namjen.
Yeah. So would mine.
Yeah. That's it.
Because I always call you JD, I sometimes genuinely forget that you both have the same name.
And Kat and Jimin would be Jack or
Kimin.
Kimin. Cool.
I had a dream. This isn't for the video. No, that I was interviewing BTS. They were like, I went into a room and there was like the camera set up and they were all sat together there, and I was sat over here to interview them. And of course I'm asking the questions and RM is answering because obviously English, but he's proper flirting with me and I'm having to stay professional and ignore his flirting. And then I woke up. I know, I was really enjoying it.
When I think about BTS, when I drift off, I've learnt Korean.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. In a dream where you're just like, we just
speak
magically
fluent
spoke the
Korean.
same language.
Yeah.
Fluent.
No. In my dreams, there's like, RM will speak to me in English, but I also can then speak to everyone else in Korean, and we like chop and change between it.
That's the dream.
Yeah, where I've been trying to do some stuff with Korean, I've been a bit lazy with it recently, but I did buy a book.
Have you seen that someone's doing it? Like, there's Learn Korean with BTS.
Yeah, do you see how expensive that is?
No.
I sent it to Jenny.
She sent it to us and it's
Oh,
really
did you?
expensive.
I just
It's
found
really
it on
cute,
Instagram.
though.
And then I found some BTS makeup on Instagram as well.
I was really proud of myself. I could count to 12 in Korean. And yeah, I was really proud of myself and I'm going for it like, yeah, I got this. And then I found out that they have different numbering systems and so I can't count to 12 because those aren't the counting numbers.
Nope.
But I can tell BTS my phone number because those are the numbers for that and that is equally as important.
And that's why she learned the numbers.
But he did have the numbers in Dope. I was listening to Dope and when RM is rapping he says giving up on 3, giving up on 5. I was listening to it and I was like, oh, I recognise the numbers.
It
I was
happens.
so excited that I recognised something.
You
myself.
start picking up the
without
Korean
having
words.
knowing it from subtitles. I knew it like I know what that word is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's really
definitely
fun.
think I know bits of Korean. It's just me kind of mumbling along the sounds.
I've
of
seen
the
a lot of
songs.
stuff online of people saying that when it comes to Just One Day, when the chorus starts, everyone speaks Korean.
Oh, you learn it. You learn the choruses. Yeah, that's actually a really good starting point. Is if you learn the chorus because it's repetitive, and then obviously you know what it means, and you can kind of figure it out from there. So it's a good starting
Probably
point.
practice the sounds as well that aren't in our language.
I
Yeah.
can barely manage songs in English.
Yeah.
Singing along to the choruses.
Oh,
That's
Peter
just-
Kay's misheard song lyrics. That's you.
Either.
And we're continuing on our BTS MTV Unplugged journey.
Yep.
So what's next?
Next is what was the orders? Life Goes On is next. So
I know this one.
yeah. So we had Telepathy, Blue and Grey, Fix You. So it's going into the feels, and then now it's sort of picking us back up a little bit again. So it's Life Goes On, and then after that it's Dynamite. So it's all
Yeah,
good.
this will be other than the music video. We've not watched any others yet, have we?
No, you haven't seen them
the other
perform it
videos
live or
performances. Yeah.
So it's
You
good.
owe me a forest version,
Yes,
and I've seen a
yes.
thumbnail of it, and
Do you know why we
Yep.
haven't done the forest version? Because you didn't turn up. You weren't here, and we couldn't do it without you.
Oh,
So
snap!
so what you're saying is, you need me.
Oh god, I knew she was going to find a way to make that about her own importance.
Well, what can I say?
Yeah, we've got the forest version of Life Goes On to watch. We've also got the story version of On to watch. I promise, I don't forget them. I write them down.
I'm going to leave right now unless I get them.
We're
I'll
gonna
leave.
do
I'm
them.
walking. I'm walking.
You're not that important.
Don't forget your
You can't
coat.
stamp your feet.
Okay, please remember to like, comment and subscribe and share these videos. Because we're sharing BTS together. I'm trying to find
That's so
something.
cheesy.
I know.
So cheesy.
I can't with you. You need to find a better thing for it.
Mm.
Don't forget your coat. Oh, it's so close together.
Mm.
Oh, I like they've got instruments. I don't think I appreciated him properly before this.
He looks like preppy fabulous.
And his hair and the microphone. Might also be mine. Collecting them today.
Vocals.
Oh, eye contact.
But you don't like blonde, JK. Is it okay? Is it winning you over now?
He's always going to win me over.
Oh, I love that RM's like mouthing along.
Yes, Jimin, can you hear how high he is? Wait for it.
His sounds really beautiful. What's the thing on their breast? I can't think what the word's called.
The emblem?
Yes.
It might just be for the designer. I don't know who it is.
He makes it look so easy, doesn't he?
Do.
Got a B on them for BTS.
Was it a B? I thought it was an R. They do. They feel so comfortable in this.
Hi, Jimmy.
Sugar looks a little bit bored there.
Ad-libs. So awesome.
That little look up. That was nice. I feel like that's what it's like when they're at home and one of them starts singing it and the others all just like...
Yeah, they're nice
join
and,
in.
nice and relaxed, which is a really good state to produce really good vocals, because if obviously you're tense, then
Yeah.
it can affect. But so they're just so... They make it look so easy, and it's just nice and chill. But just being able to, in that setting, appreciate their vocal skills, that they can just produce those runs and those ad-libs are awesome.
They're just almost like that and just hit the note.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
Almost like you can go, Jimmy, hit a note. He goes,
I like seeing how I noticed that V always has his microphone really, really close to his lips. Obviously, I don't know much about music, but I know that obviously where you put it is different. But he seems to through this consistently have it quite close to him.
I don't think any of his notes in the songs we've watched today, none of his notes have been big notes. So with microphone training, the bigger that your note gets and the higher it gets, you tend to sort of move the microphone away so that you don't get any like feedback or anything. But everything he's been doing today has been quite intimate, if you know what I mean.
It's quite relaxed, so you're not belting, you want it to be...
That's it.
Lower.
I did notice.
I talk like I know.
Yeah.
You should hear me on karaoke. It's beautiful.
I don't think I appreciated with that song, as obviously we've seen the music video for it, the rappers, they maybe don't have as much to do because it is a very vocal heavy song, and although they're like sitting there and singing along, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like I feel maybe not a bit bored, but they feel a bit left out because they're not able to be as involved. Maybe, do you think?
I mean, you'd have to ask them. I didn't.
I would love to.
Let's arrange that.
Yeah. Tell you what, you set it up. I'll be there.
I don't think so. From any time I've ever seen them perform, it's obviously the rappers know that, like, normally it would be a chorus or something is predominantly for the vocal line, and then they've got their rap in the middle. But like what we saw from Fix You as well is that they were doing the bass singing of the rappers as well as with a falsetto above it with one of the other members. So they can get involved in different parts of the song. I think it just depends on their arrangement and what they do with it.
I also think when they're performing that they're just singing it for a camera. If they were on stage, they can almost look and sing along with the crowd kind of thing. You
More
can
interaction.
interact there.
Yeah, I think so. But...
Does Sugar always sit with his legs crossed? I just noticed that he does that.
He does that quite a bit, yeah. Sugar is always just so chill until he needs to bring it, and then he does. But
as I said, that guitar was not chill.
No. It's amazing, isn't it, that they've got, the rappers have got this really chill side to them, and then at the same on the flip side, if they need to just be bringing it, they can. So that's pretty awesome.
That one felt really like lullaby. Like, because maybe we should just eat it.
Maybe it's also because we're familiar with it though.
Yeah.
Because we know it, we're not looking at all the lyrics going, oh, we're just like, oh.
You could just appreciate it, yeah.
Sometimes I think that makes it harder because we're trying to take so much in and trying to take in the lyrics and then not say maybe the wrong things because we've not had time to appreciate it. But definitely after a couple of times of watching things, I feel far more settled in a song.
There's a lot to digest in a BTS song. I think maybe for any song that you experience in another language, there can be a lot to digest. So I think that's why the initial reaction is really interesting. But then when we talk and do the updates and say, oh, what song has grown on you, or what do you feel differently about? And then you're like, oh, actually, I delved deeper into these lyrics and I really like this. But I do think that's why it's really cool to take another look at it. Obviously, every time we go onto a video, that's another one that you can then add to your playlist. You have free range to watch it again as many times as you want. And so it's interesting to get more from it the more you watch it. So I think that's good. It's a good point.
I think I will show my mum this like, I want to call it the Tiny Desk, but it's not that, the MTV Unplugged.
The Unplugged.
I think it'd be a really nice, gentle introduction.
Yeah, I've sort of shown my mum. Because I showed her Dynamite. She was like, oh, I've heard this song. She liked that. And then I said, right, I'm going to send you some others. I said, but they will be in Korean, but you need to just watch, listen and enjoy and just admire the boys. I've only sent her one more so far, and that was Boy With Love, because I know what sort of music my mum likes. If I sent her Mic Drop, she'd be like, oh no, this is not for me. But I thought Boy With Love
is sweet. Yeah, very
but
sweet.
I think it would be the perfect introduction because Telepathy was very, you could just kind of like groove along to that anyway.
Groove is the perfect word for that.
And then Blue and Grey was gorgeous to look at, and you could really get the feeling and emotion. And then you've got Fix You, which obviously most people would know anyway. And then that again is just gorgeous to kind of take in. And then you've got Dynamite, which everyone is very used to because of the advert and it being in English. I think maybe if I'd stumbled across the MTV Unplugged on my own and watched that, I think that would have been a nice
it's
intro
definitely it's a nice
draw
introduction
me in a bit
for sure.
I wonder if maybe that's why they chose some of those. Well, I suppose they didn't because they're part of the B album, aren't they?
They're part of the B album, but they chose to do, obviously, they could have done any cover that they wanted, really, if you think about it, any cover in the world. But they chose to do Coldplay's Fix You, which I like the fact that they chose it for the message that they took from it about with the pandemic and everything like that. But you're right, I think that's a really nice introduction because anybody that knows that song already will be able to have a nice little comparison, and that sort of sense of familiarity is quite comforting. But also that to see what I really like is that there's a lot of people that through this MTV Unplugged have discovered BTS, and some of the reactions I've seen of these performances so far have been, oh wow, I've heard of BTS, I just thought they were some boy band, but actually these dudes can sing, and it's really cool. Do you know what I mean? Just it's a very low production, more focused just on their vocals.
I also think when I hear them sing in English, I can really appreciate the vocals because I don't
you
know
have a
why
comparison.
You have a
know
comparison.
what
You
it
know the
would
song.
maybe like where the word would go.
Yeah.
So where the notes go. So then when you hear it go kind of higher or lower.
Yeah.
Than what you think.
For an example, in that We Don't Talk Anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. I can't listen to the original because it's not right.
Sorry, Charlie Puth.
You know when you put it on, you're like, no, it's not right. Because again, I didn't say it actually on Fix You, but it's like we discussed, that twang, there's a slight accent, the pronunciation is beautiful, but there is a, like you say, a twang, and it's nice.
Yeah, it's really good. Very good.
So that was the MTV Unplugged BTS Life Goes On. Stick around for Dynamite.
And, okay, so Dynamite, the last performance, what do you guys think they're going to be wearing?
Don't do this to me.
Leather.
Dynamite.
Jenny's like, it's always leather.
Not what do you want them to be wearing?
Thank you, Kat.
Don't
for
ever
clarifying.
ask her that.
They
Don't
were-
ever
Okay, so
ask
that
her
crosses off that one. Are they going to get into their retro stuff?
Yes and no. Good word. Yeah, retro kind of. Well, anyway, I just wanted to plant that little seed there. Tune in for the next one to watch it. I like being evil. I'm actually starting to enjoy it.
Cow. Okay. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.